Here I'm going to outline how I came to choose a research project that was pretty much tailored for me. My research project is on periodontitis and subclinical atherosclerosis in patients with type 2 diabetes mellitus. So, let's get to it. In year 1, I pretty much had no idea what I wanted to do post-AMS. I loved learning about the physiology of the body and then how it can go wrong and then how to treat it. Specifically, during the pancreas and diabetes lecture in the kidney hormones and fluid balance module, I particularly enjoyed gaining an insight into how one disease can affect so many parts of the body and essentially cause other diseases. Again, in the cardiovascular module, learning about how diabetes was also a risk factor for atherosclerosis, my desire to learn about how diseases integrated with each other was firmed. Then, infection, inflammation and repair sparked my interest in the oral cavity. The human microbiome lecture touched on the oral microbiome and what would happen if it was altered. In susceptible hosts, this could lead to periodontitis. That summer, I decided to take on work experience at a general dental practice to see how what I've learned is used in practice. I found periodontitis was very common in patients with type 2 diabetes, and I was keen to explore this avenue and how this correlation comes about. Therefore, my grant application for the molecular basis of disease assessment in year 2 was based on if rank L, a ligand involved in osteoclast differentiation and therefore bone resorption, was increased more in patients with type 2 diabetes who had periodontitis than type 2 diabetes patients alone. In this module, we also further explored the oral microbiome. That summer, I decided to delve into dentistry. I took on work experience at further general dental practices and a maxillofacial unit at Northampton General Hospital. Here I learnt the importance of having a deep understanding of the whole body rather than just the face, mouth and jaw. For example, a patient with severe renal impairment had to be given antibiotics to ensure they didn't develop an infection, as their renal impairment made them immunosuppressed. But this dose was only small to prevent further damage to the kidneys. I learned the oral cavity is just a cog in a machine that is our body. The body works as a whole and damage to one area can most certainly affect another. This led to my dissertation, which essentially integrates 3 different diseases that all interact with one another: periodontitis and subclinical atherosclerosis in patients with type 2 diabetes mellitus. The lab work involved throughout AMS and during my research project developed my manual dexterity skills and firmed my desire to have a practical job. After carrying out work experience, I knew I wanted to work in clinics to have a direct impact on patients, and I also knew this job had to integrate diseases of the body and not just focus on one speciality. Okay, so you might be thinking, a GP? Nope, this doesn't tick the hands-on job box. Dentistry does. So next September, I will hopefully be attending dental school.